We will be wrapping out listening to the JoJo villain themes as we finish with part 6's Father Pucci, as we'll have 3 different themes we'll be listening to. And I'm excited because Pucci, I think, has one of the more underrated themes, I think, in terms of the villains at least. So yeah, let's finish it. We're gonna start with this one, that being Pale Snake. White Snake, as it is. I like that distortion at the beginning. It's very, Diavolo. Keep track of that melody. I love that. I love the drums building up the tuk-a-tone, 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 ba. I remember when I first heard Pucci's themes, I was like, it's very similar to Diavolo's, but now having done Diavolo's theme, the only similarities really is like that organ sound, and I guess like some of the distortion. They're pretty different, but you know, when they're done by the same composer. I love the organ. I mean, it's very fitting, obviously, for Pucci as a character, because, you know, he's a priest. So it's this feeling of just, like, that gothic choir. Real good strings. Oh, I love all that. Just coming in super strong, and it's like taking all the elements that have been established. That hard distortion, now introducing really much of the string works, and the organ's still present. All those sounds in there. What I like about Pucci's theme, there's an element of sadness to it, which makes sense considering his story and why he goes down the path that he does. At least with this version. I mean, this is more for like the white snake, but it's not just like inherently like super evil sounding. I mean, it has those parts, like definitely like the organ, but like the string work just has like that element of a tragedy that a lot of the other villain themes don't really have. Like you hear Dio, Kira, and Diavolo's themes, and even the Pillar Men's, and it's like, yeah, no doubt that this is a villain's theme. I mean, the Pillar Men's kind of just a cool song, but now we move on to this next one, which honestly, I think I should have done first, because I think this really establishes the theme, but this is the song Priest. Straight organ. Ooh. What is that, like a wind or just like a ooh? Just this like haunting voice in there. Creepy. Almost like a siren. A prison siren, you could say. Yeah, I really should have did this one first, because the White Snake version of it is more kind of like the action version, I guess. Whereas this is straight up Pucci's theme, like when not a whole lot's happening, but he's there. But speaking of tragedy, like I talked about before, that male voice. Yeah, we're talking about that church feel. Now it really feels like that like men's choir, still with like the organ. That string work though, it gives me like this sad feeling, but it's also that feeling of like an impending doom. Just like this rotating. And there it is, that ticking clock that's been present in pretty much all of the themes. I wonder if you like really listen to the ticking sounds in all of the villain themes. I wonder if there is an element of being able to tell their power. I forget which version of the theme for Dio, but because like it ticks normally and then it starts speeding up and then it just stops, which is like, I guess you could say time stopping. Kira's, I imagine it might have an element of like it plays in reverse. Diavolo should be where it's like it goes tick, 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 where it's just like something's missing in there. Pretty sure the ticking starts speeding up. Oof. very harsh horn. Oh yeah, it's speeding up. But then it slows down. Not for long. That's what I love about music, especially in anime, is when it's just like they hide the story in the music, but obviously when you're watching the show, you're not really gonna notice it. And that's also just the benefit of them adapting JoJo's, having so much to adapt already. I mean, when part 6 was adapted into the anime, that was from a whole different century when it was written. Now we will do one final song for Pucci and one final song to send us out. I know, Kikyo, in the comments, you've been really eagerly awaiting us to do Clockworks, and yeah, I think this will be a perfect song to finish out Pucci and our villain music listening. I do really love this song. I think it might be my favorite in terms of like villain themes. Let's take it back a bit. I'm not gonna talk this time. From what I remember about this song, there's not really a whole lot of like Pucci's theme in it, at least that melody of just like the da 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 da. It's just, it's an evolution of it. There's still a lot of those elements of it though. The string work, there's gonna be that organ, I think there's even the ticking clock again, but now it's more of a female voice in conjunction with a male voice, which you could argue is like the combating between Pucci and Jolene. It does feel like an impending doom, this song, which makes sense because it's basically Made in Heaven's song. A strong men's choir in there. I really can only remember 2 times that this song plays. Like, you know, when he initially is like going up with the shuttle, it's like Made in Heaven, and then when he's chasing Emporio in the prison, and he's like talking about just like, oh, everyone will know their fates, the world will know. In between that though, I don't really remember. Did the string work harmonizing with the organ? And then there's the clock. Oh, well, there's Pucci's theme. Again, that's what I've been loving about doing these villain themes, is like hearing the initial theme in which, you know, it feels like kind of calm and collected, but you could like really feel the tone of the villain. But then going to the evolution of the song, the like final iteration, it feels so insane, but it also is that feeling of like the plan, whatever it is, coming to fruition, and also just them in their final moments just going off against the Joestars. Though in this case, Pucci wins. Like two different picks. I love that in there. There's like the regular tick tick, and then like it slowed down, and then now it speeds up. Underneath all that was like a really distorted version of it. It was like do, 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 do. Strong organ hits. That's definitely the biggest hitter of Pucci's theme, is the organ, which again makes sense. He's a priest after all. Well, that was Priest, Whitesnake, and Clockworks. Altogether, Pucci's many themes. I definitely love, I think, the first half of Clockworks more than like that second half. The like string work and the organ like harmonizing together just feels like this biblical event is taking place, which by all accounts it is. Made in heaven. Yeah, Pucci. I don't think I hold him up there as like one of my favorite villains overall, but his theme is one every time I listen to him, like, oh yeah. Honestly, in terms of ranking the themes, I think it goes Dio, Kira, Pucci, the Pillarmen, Diavolo. But that does conclude us listening to the villain themes for JoJo's. I'm sure there's some that I've maybe missed for certain characters, like, oh, you should have listened to this version of it. You can let me know down in the comments below. I mean, I won't do another video on it, but in terms of more music, I mean, there is still an endless amount of amazing JoJo songs that I can listen to. I'm considering maybe doing the Joe Bros music themes. So, you know, like going all the way back to part 1 and do like Speedwagon, part 2 Caesar, part 3 I'm so down to do like Kakyoin's, Polnareff's, Avdol's, part 4 has Okuyasu and Koichi. There's so many amazing themes still that I can do. I am probably gonna take a bit of a break for a little while, just because in terms of the Music Enthusiast React stuff, we've pretty much only been doing JoJo stuff. I'd like to, you know, branch out and, you know, listen to a bunch of other stuff, because there's still other things, you know, from other shows. Like, I kind of want to go back to Attack on Titan, because like I said, I was going to do a lot of the music from that, and I really didn't cover that much of it, but not that I'm going to fully stop, because the music of JoJo's, my lord. For now, I feel like we've covered pretty much all the main themes. You know, we've done all the OPs. I did a video with the EDs. That was more for the visuals. We've done the main JoJo themes, and now we've done the villains. Of course, feel free to leave any requests or recommendations for specific JoJo themes that I maybe haven't covered that you would like to see down in the comments below. I've started listening to more of the anthology songs, and there's a couple in there that I might do some videos on, you know, like I did for Crazy My Beat. A lot of stuff. I could endlessly make stuff for JoJo's, and I probably will, but I guess we'll see. But either way, this is my reaction to Pucci's theme from JoJo's. Join me for whatever other music we may cover, as well as everything else that'll be coming out soon. So thank you for joining me on this. I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.